have Dr. Saleem with us. Dr. Saleem, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just wonderfully, and I think our audience can too. Woohoo, we have overcome.
Yes, finally.
Finally,
Oh my God.
I know, you were working hard, we were working hard, but thrilled to have you. All right, tell us how you say your name, because I slaughtered it once or twice, I'm just saying.
So my name is Dr. Saleem Al-Nuaimi, but everyone calls me Dr. A. All my patients, everyone.
Dr. A.
It's easier.
Okay, I can say Dr. A. Okay, Dr.
Awesome,
A, our time has diminished now, so, and I said a lot about what you had sent me, but let's start with talking about what is the name of the game that you guys are working on?
So the name of our game is called The Scent of Silence.
Yeah, go ahead. You say what you want to say.
Sure, awesome. So The Scent of Silence is really one of the very first games, I think, out that we want to start to work on in raising awareness about the autism spectrum in kind of a more unique way, in a way that can promote inclusion and reduce sort of the difficulties around understanding autism, because such a wide spectrum and people kind of have very serious stereotypes and tend to sort of look at things from a very negative perspective. And just the research, we're trying to really connect between the science as well as the art of the video gaming aspects as well. So for example, the science clearly shows that if you have a character that takes on the roles of the challenges of someone on the spectrum, then people are a lot more likely to connect with that and empathize. And that's really the main goal that we really want to reach out, looking at really the sensory and kind of language-based differences that you can see on the spectrum.
Wonderful. And so this game is in development right now, but one of the things that you were reaching out to us for is that you'd like for people to fill out a survey. We've told them where to go. We'll put it on the screen again. Tell us what will they find when they go to the survey site?
Yeah, so it's on our website. You can see kind of everything about us, where our company is about, and why we're sort of doing this game. And the survey is just a short, I think it's about 9 questions. We're just trying to get a sense from the market and the people, because, you know, I may have ideas, you know, the choir that we're preaching to also has their ideas, but I think we're trying to reach out to individuals that haven't really connected with other people who may be on the autism spectrum or don't really have much of an understanding, because we're trying to reach out to the masses and to the general population to really hopefully be able to make a dent into the stereotypes and into raising awareness and understanding.
But is there a component of, I'm sure you're aware that people on the spectrum are going to play this game.
Of course.
So, and for them, I think obviously everybody who's on the spectrum is different from everybody else who's on the spectrum. So they are also going to be learning about, oh, this person sees this way, I see this way. But are there other aspects of this that you think people on the spectrum are going to really enjoy?
Yeah, I think first off, having sort of a playable character that they may resonate with, and we're going to try to also create other focus groups as well from the general population to maybe more specific people on the spectrum to get their feedback, because at the same time we don't want to do things that are insensitive to people and their feelings. And when people can see that this is sort of somewhat of a gamified reflection, and I think that's where we can use things like a bit of humor. We can, you know, take something that may be quite serious and make it look like in a different light. And that's more of a positive light that we're trying to focus on as well, rather than seeing them as something negative or stereotyped.
Right. Tell us why this is so important to you and to your company.
Yeah, so our company, Merry Minds Technology, is essentially based on the idea that mental health issues, especially in young people and children, is at like a major crisis point. And we're trying to use technology and specifically video games to try to teach people coping skills and coping mechanisms, as well as raising awareness. Now, we started off with autism for maybe 2 reasons. One is professional, you know, just a few months ago, the CDC in the US, right, they posted new data saying that 1 in 36 children is now on the autism spectrum. Yeah. You know, that's a huge change from where it was even when I was training. And more people are being diagnosed onto the spectrum, and there's a lot of, you know, blaming, judgment, self-stigma even around this whole issue. And I see that a lot professionally, and I think at a personal level as well. So I've been blessed with a set of twin boys. They're 4 years old now, and they're neurodiverse. They struggle a lot with neurosensory issues. They were quite premature, and they've had some, language difficulties, etc. They're not on the autism spectrum, but do you recall the mask mandates and all that craziness that was happening with COVID, right? I just remember like sheer humiliation and being completely like signaled out on a plane while we were traveling in Canada because, they weren't wearing their masks and they were 2 years old. And I had a medical letter stating that, they have some difficulties with the sensation of the mask, so they couldn't put it on. And just the utter sort of ignorance and lack of understanding and awareness kind of really struck me.
Yeah.
So it was, and I can imagine, and I've seen it. I see it a lot with my, families, the parents, families themselves. Even studies show this. Parents who are caregivers to children with mental health or autism spectrum disorder are more likely to be stigmatized versus if their children had physical disabilities or like obvious disability that people could see, such as Down syndrome or something like that. So I think there's a professional, so personal reason why everyone needs to be really tackling this, especially if we're looking at, this is not rare. This is a very, very prevalent condition. So, we should all get on the same page to make a difference for everybody, because we're going to be dealing with someone on the spectrum, in one way or another.
But I love the fact that you're doing it with games, because we know that is where the young people are. If you're,
Exactly.
When people say, oh, well, we want to increase awareness, and so we're running television ads, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know any teenagers who are watching television. They're on YouTube and they're on their gaming systems, right? So it's catching your audience where they are. And we always talk here about how when you're educating, it has to be fun and it has to be personally rewarding. Otherwise, people don't learn. This is just a basic concept. And I have seen in my life, the young people in my life learn a lot from watching video games. I remember when my son was a certain age and he was quoting Shakespeare. And I said, is that from your English class? He said, no, I learned that in this game that I was playing. And I went, okay, then. We can't just, I think my generation tends to go, oh, video games bad. And we can't be in that mindset anymore. This is where our youth is, and we need to help steer them towards the right things. So talk a little bit, I love your mission. Talk a little bit about why you chose the name that you did and what does it signify?
Yeah, so the scent of silence really signifies the union around the neurosensory kind of experience, right? Like silence doesn't have a scent to it, but at the same time, I think because I actually was hearing you earlier while we were trying to figure out these technical issues, and you mentioned something about how people on the spectrum actually have a lot more emotions and experience a lot of empathy and emotions, but kind of a lot more so than others. And I really do see that even in my clinical practice, where there's a lot more anxiety and obsessiveness and worrying, which then may cause other challenges or difficulties. But they're extremely emotionally connected in some capacity, but struggle in other ways. And I think the silence part is reflective of the loneliness, of the not being understood, of the stigma aspect of kind of being, the other. So we're trying to tackle it from sort of those both directions of looking at some of the neurosensory challenges, but also at the fact that, young people and even adults on the spectrum are much more likely to suffer from internalizing conditions such as depression or anxiety as well. Amazing.
So we've told people earlier, but we want to remind them your website, www.mereminds, that's MEREMINDS.ca, because you're in Canada. And then if you want to take the survey, all you have to do is a /survey, and you can take the survey, which would really be helping you out a lot, correct?
Yes, really going to help us kind of understand what people are looking for, where we can go. And again, we're very open to any sort of collaborations. Like, we're very flexible. again, we're like a social enterprise business, right?
Yeah.
We're here to sort of try to impact a positive change. And, just your comment about the video games, another very important thing I just wanted just a quick second about that is, unlike other companies, we're not just in the entertainment aspect of video games. So video games are usually broken down into this purely entertainment based, or they're very therapeutic. And the therapeutic based games are a bit too dry. They're not fun. Young people actually don't play them.
Yeah.
And you only find like certain people playing those games who may be suffering from specific conditions or specific issues.
We were so close. We were so close to the end. But I want to finish his thought because I know where he was going, that this video game melds the fun with that educational piece, right? Which is the thing that we're always trying to get to. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and I feel so bad that we lost him when we did. I don't know what's up with the internet today. But I do want to urge you guys, go and take the survey. So again, you want to go to mereminds.ca/survey, and you can take a look at, they have screenshots of the game, and there's more information about the game as well. I hope that you will check it out. My last question for him was going to be, when do you anticipate this coming to market? But we'll have to wait to find that out. It's a cliffhanger. I do want to let you know that tomorrow it's Stories from the Spectrum, and then on Friday we have a new episode of Let's Talk All the Things with Rachel and Shannon. Rachel Bird is joining me. She's got an amazing lasagna recipe, you guys, and we're going to talk. Okay, let's bring him back in for one question. But we're going to be talking about all things summer, things we did when our kids were little, because she's Kobe Bird's mom, and you know whose mom I am. And then we're going to be talking about things we do now for summer to help us through the summer. But Dr. A, are you back?
I'm totally here.
My last question to you is, when do we expect this game to be out? When can we purchase it, do you think? Do you have an estimate?
So for our timeline, we're looking at hopefully between 8 to 12 months.
Okay.
Hopefully.
And I finished your thought off for you because I think what you were trying to say is that this game melds the two together, right? It's not boring.
You are bang on, Shannon. I am very impressed. Wonderful.
Vulcan mind meld, you see?
Awesome.
Well, we can't wait to see this game when it comes out. Stay in touch with us. I hope you get a lot of people taking the survey.
Really appreciate all your help. Thank you all to all the listeners. And
Thanks
again,
for
my apologies with all this internet
the
stuff.
tech issues.
Awesome.
We
Thank
overcame.
you so much. Really
All right,
appreciate it. Awesome. Take care,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook.